A woman must choose her husband, but here is the problem: she has never seen him, and the men she must choose from are not just kings, they are gods. So the question is, what is dharma here? This is the story of Damayanti, princess of Vidarbha, and Nala, king of Nishadha. They have never met, but they have heard of each other through messengers, through stories, through reputation. And something has already happened. They have chosen each other without ever seeing each other. But now comes the real test. Damayanti's Swayamvara is announced. She will choose her husband in a royal assembly. But before she reaches that hall, something unexpected happens. The gods themselves appear: Indra, Agni, Varun, Yama. And they give her a command, not a request, a command. Choose one of us. Now ask yourself, what should she do? On one side, immortality, power, cosmic status. On the other, a human king whom she has never even seen. Is dharma about choosing the highest power, or choosing what your inner self has already recognized as truth? And then the dilemma becomes even deeper. The gods choose Nal himself as their messenger. Yes, Nal must go to Damayanti and ask her to marry someone else. If he obeys, he loses her. If he refuses, he disobeys the gods. So now ask again, what is dharma? Duty to command or truth to inner conviction? From the Mahabharata, Vana Parva, Devanam Vachanam Shutva, Nalasya cha Mahatmana, Nanyam Vrane Narashreshtham, Nalam Satya Parakramam. Having heard the words of the gods and of the noble Nal, I choose no other man, O best of men, but Nal, who is true and valiant. Understand what just happened. She did not reject the gods out of arrogance. She did not choose Nal out of impulse. She chose based on truth, not status. In the Swayamvara hall, the gods take Nala's form. 5 identical Nalas stand before her. No difference in appearance, no visual cue, and yet she still chooses correctly. She recognizes him based on the noble aura she senses of his presence. Because her decision was never based on what she could see, it was based on what she already knew in her heart. And this is where everything begins to get tested, because choosing dharma once does not mean you will remain in it forever. A king who was righteous does not fall in one moment. So what changed? This is the same Nal, the same king who was chosen over the gods, the same man known for truth, restraint, and dharma. So ask yourself, how does such a man begin to fall? Because the danger to dharma is not always outside. Sometimes it enters silently. Kali, not a man, not a random enemy, a force of decline that waits for weakness. From the Mahabharata, Varn Parva. Kalistu nalamasadya dosham sambipadyata, tam dosham pratiksheva pravivesha nalam tatah. Kali approached Nal, seeking a flaw, and waiting for that flaw to appear, he entered into him. Understand this carefully. Kali could not enter Nal immediately. He had to wait. Wait for a weakness. So dharma was not destroyed. It was left unguarded. And that is when corruption begins. Now ask yourself, what is artha pressure? It is not just wealth. It is not just power. It is the burden of holding both. A king must rule, decide, command. And slowly, something shifts. From I serve dharma to I control outcomes. And that shift is enough. Because once the mind believes it is in control, it stops watching itself. And the moment awareness drops, adharma enters. Not as an enemy, but as influence. Subtle, invisible, justified. From the same source, Nachasya vidyate doshah swabhaven visheshatah, alpenapi hi doshen mahan bhavti nashanam. No great fault existed in him by nature. Yet even a small defect can grow into great destruction. This is the real warning. Nal did not become adharmic overnight. He allowed a small breach, a moment of carelessness, a lapse in vigilance, and that was enough. Because dharma is not maintained automatically, it must be guarded every moment. And this is where earth becomes dangerous. Because power gives you the illusion of control, and illusion weakens discipline. So the question is not, was Nal a good king? The real question is, did he remain vigilant after becoming one? And this is where everything begins to slip. Because once dharma weakens internally, the fall outside is only a matter of time. A man who has lost vigilance does not fall immediately. First, he is tested. Not by enemies, not by war, but by something far more dangerous: choice. Because now, Kali is within him, and the opportunity arrives. From the Mahabharata, Vanaparva. Pushkaro naam nalasya bhrata, द्यूतकामः प्रचोदितः. कलेः प्रभावात् tam rajanam द्यूताय samupagamat. Pushkara, the brother of Nal, desirous of gambling, urged on by Kali, approached the king for a game of dice. Now stop here. This is not an attack. This is an invitation. So ask yourself, what should Nal have done? A king, a man of dharma. He knows the nature of dice. Uncertain, addictive, destructive. So why accept? From the same source, Sattu Dyuta Priyaha Raja Nalam Dyute Nyayojayat Sa Chapi Nala Pritya Dyutam Tena Samarabhat. Pushkara, fond of gambling, engaged Nal in the game of dice. And Nal, out of inclination, began to play. Understand that line. Not forced, not compelled. He began out of inclination. This is the real danger. When the mind starts agreeing with what it should resist. And once it begins, it does not stop. Dyutena riyate rajyam, dyutena riyate dhanam, dyutena riyate sarvam. Through dice, the kingdom is lost. Through dice, wealth is lost. Through dice, everything is lost. And yet, he continues. So ask yourself again, why does he not stop? Because this is no longer about winning. This is about not losing. Artha pulls him. I must recover what is lost. Kama pulls him. I cannot walk away now. And slowly, everything begins to slip. From the text, Tatah sa hritarajyascha hritadhana sa nalo abhavat. Then Nal lost his kingdom and lost his wealth. But even that is not the lowest point, because wealth can return, kingdoms can be regained. But what is lost now is control. And when a man loses control, what remains? So the question is not, why did Nala gamble? The real question is, why did he continue after knowing? Because that is where dharma is truly tested. Not at the beginning of a mistake, but in the moment when you can still stop and choose not to. And this is where everything collapses. He has lost everything: his kingdom, his wealth, his power. So now ask yourself, what remains? His wife, Damayanti. And this is where the real test begins. Because loss of wealth is not the deepest fall. Loss of dharma is. From the Mahabharata, Van Parva. Sahrit rajyo nirastascha vanam gantum upasthitah Damyantya saharanyam nala pravishat. Having lost his kingdom, driven away, Nal entered the forest together with Damayanti. Look at this moment carefully. She does not leave him. When he has nothing, she stays. No palace, no protection, only hardship. And yet, she stays. So now the question changes, not about Artha, but about the mind. Because something is breaking inside him from the same source. Sachintaya masa tada dukkha shoka samanvitah katham nu jeeved iyam maya hina sudukkhita. He thought then, overwhelmed by sorrow and grief, how will she live if she remains with me in such suffering? Understand this carefully. This is not anger. This is not cruelty. This is collapse. A mind that has lost control now begins to lose clarity. And in that state, even wrong decisions start to feel right. From the text, Tam soptam anugrahyaiva vastrardhena vritam tada tyaktva jagam kaunteyah nalo dukkha samanvitah. While she lay asleep, covered with half a garment, Nal, overcome with sorrow, abandoned her and departed. Pause here. Do not rush this moment. A man who was once chosen over the gods now leaves his wife alone in the forest. Not because he hates her, but because he believes this is the only way. And this is the most dangerous state. When the mind is broken, it no longer sees dharma clearly. So ask yourself, was this sacrifice or failure? Because dharma is not only about intention, it is also about clarity. And when clarity is gone, even good intention can lead to adharma. And this is the lowest point of the fall. Not when he lost his kingdom, but when he lost the ability to see what was right. In the moment that mattered most. And this is where the story turns. Everything has collapsed. Power is gone. Wealth is gone. Clarity is gone. So now ask yourself, why? Why does a man who knows dharma still choose the path that destroys him? Because this is not a story about fate. This is a story about choice. And this is where Shruti speaks. From the Katha Upanishad 1:1-2. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametah to samparitya vivinakti dhirah. Shreyah hi dhirah abhipreyaso vranite, preyo mandah yogakshemat vranite. The good and the pleasant approach a person. The wise examine both and choose carefully. The wise choose the good over the pleasant. The unwise choose the pleasant for the sake of comfort and gain. Now look back. At every moment, Nal was given a choice. When the invitation to gamble came, Shreyas was to refuse. Preyas was to accept. He chose Preyas. When he began to lose, Shreyas was to stop. Preyas was to continue. He chose Preyas. When his mind began to collapse, Shreyas was to hold on to clarity. Preyas was to escape the pain. He chose Preyas. And when Damayanti stood beside him, Shreyas was to remain. Preyas was to walk away. He chose Preyas. Understand this clearly. Nothing happened suddenly. No single moment destroyed him. It was a pattern, a repeated choice of the pleasant over the right. And that is how dharma collapses. Not through ignorance, but through preference. So the question is not, did Nal know what was right? He did. The real question is, why did he not choose it? Because knowing dharma is not the same as choosing it. And this is the truth Shruti reveals. Every moment you are given both Shreyas and Preyas, and your life becomes the result of which one you choose. And this is where the fall is finally understood. So now the question is different. Not how he fell, but can he rise? Because if dharma can be lost, can it be restored? From the Mahabharat, Van Parva. Satu dukh pariklishto nalo dharma manusmaran, charan deshan bahun, raja swatmanam punaravishat. Afflicted by suffering, Nal, remembering dharma, wandering through many lands, gradually returned to himself. Understand that line. He returned to himself, not to his kingdom, not to his power, to himself. Because the real loss was never the kingdom. It was self-mastery, and the recovery begins there. Not outside, inside. And this is where Smriti speaks. From the Arthashastra. Indriyajayah sarvarthanam moolam. Control of the senses is the foundation of all prosperity. And also, Vyasanani hi manushyanam nashai bhavanti. Vices become the cause of a man's destruction. Now look at Nal. He lost control. He allowed vice to take hold, and everything followed. But now, he does something different. He observes, he remembers, he regains control. Slowly, without noise. And that is how dharma returns. Not through victory, but through discipline. So ask yourself, what is real strength? Is it power? Or the ability to stop yourself when you must? Because wealth can return, kingdoms can return, but without self-control, nothing stays. And when control returns, everything else follows. And what was lost returns, not by chance, but because the man has become worthy of it again. And this is the real end of the story. Not when the kingdom is restored, but when the self is restored. And that is the lesson. Dharma is not tested when everything is stable. It is tested when you are tempted, when you are losing, when you are broken. And in that moment, you are given the same choice. Shreyas or Preyas. And what you choose will decide whether you fall or rise. So now you understand how a king lost everything. Not in one moment, but through small choices, repeated. And now you may ask, is that the end? It is not. Because Nal does not remain in the forest forever. And Damayanti does not break. Even after being abandoned, she remains steadfast. She wanders. She suffers. But she does not turn away from her dharma. And Nala, who has lost his kingdom, now loses something else: his form. He is changed, unrecognizable, forced to live without identity. And yet, that is where the real transformation begins. Because before anything is restored, the man himself must be rebuilt. Not as a king, but as one who has learned what he once ignored. And she will not simply wait. She will search. She will test. And when the moment comes, she will not recognize him by face, but by something deeper. In part 2, we will see what happens next. How a man who lost himself is forced to rebuild from nothing. How a woman, abandoned in the forest, becomes the one who finds the truth. And how, without certainty, without recognition, without even a name, they find their way back. Not by chance, but by dharma. Because some stories do not end in the fall, they begin after it.